are back, and on this episode we've got an absolutely beautiful XP. This little two-door coupe has come a long way. We did this car quite some time ago. We did a full rear clip in it, along with a bunch of other goodies. We'll bring you over, we'll show you a couple of little things we've done in the back, and then we'll tell you a little bit what's going to happen in this episode. We'll give you a sneaky peek before we go ahead and show you how we went about it and what we've done. So let's go check out the rear and see what we've done. All right, down on the ground here, because the coupe's just like we want all of our cars, nice and low. But in the back, you'll see a couple of really cool things. So the back of this car needed some work, and we decided to put a rear clip in it. So it's got nice high rails, so we can put a bunch of things under there and keep the exhaust nice and high and everything like that. But in the back, you'll see we've stretched the tubs. We've kept the inner tubs, so this is a very large mini tub. And we've obviously got all the tin work that goes up and over. And there's really cool little things about the tin work and how we've done some swaging, which we'll show you in just a second. But the first thing you probably see is the fuel tank. So the fuel tank is one-off, round edge, and we've swaged it, so it's got all the same lines as a factory XP fuel tank would have had. And Manny's gone ahead and done all of the hard lines himself. So they have come up awesome. So when we get underneath the car, you get to see some of his work. It is absolutely gorgeous. But integrated fuel pumps, keep it nice and quiet. And then we fill up from the factory point at the back here as well. So we've deleted all of the factory boot cables and wires and everything like that, and we've gone ahead and put some gas struts, and that way we can have a bit of a soft close and open kind of effect with the boot. But we're not really touching base too much on this episode. We'll go to the front and we'll tell you a little bit what we got going on. Before we do that, we'll show you a couple of little beautiful things we've done with the tin work. So the tin work, for all the swaging, follows the same radius as the fuel tank, and we've got all of that following the back parcel shelf swages as well. So it looks grouse. Alright, before we show you too much, on this episode we are going to be touching base on fitting the radiator we've made in a previous episode, along with doing some extractors, as well as cleaning them back and the rest of the exhaust system, and some modifications around the back to accommodate it. So on this episode is going to be a bunch of tech talk along the way with making things and how we do it and how we like to do things, which won't be the same as everyone else, but how we do things here. So stay tuned. If you like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and along the way, tell us what you enjoy watching, what you've enjoyed the most about the episode. So follow it through to the end and let us know what you like. What are we doing?
Pipes.
We should specify. We should definitely specify. 4-in-1 extractors is what we're doing. So we've got Nicole's XP in here, and we're doing 4-in-1s. So we've got 2-inch 4-in-1 primaries, and how long are they going to be?
36 inches.
Got 36 inches long primary with a 6-inch collector extension, as the engine builder has asked for. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. But this side, passenger side, what a dream boat. What a dream boat. That's the kind of area you want every single time when it comes to building pipes. On this side,
reality.
Not so much. We've got a starter, we've got steering, engine mount, and there's no room to go underneath either, because the ROS steering doesn't allow you to go under without having really poor ground clearance. So it's up to Will to figure out how he's going to make this conglomerate of bends get in there. So same as always, when we do our pipes or whether we're doing extractors, whether it's turbo manifolds, whatever it may be, we like to set out a whole bunch of bends that we've already got pre-cut for chucking it together. We've got some marked out as well for different radiuses as well, but we like to set all that up. We've got tight radius bends, we've got long radius bends, a bit of everything, but we lay it out on the bench and then we jump into here, and we've got some collectors just here, little 4-in-1 collectors here ready to go. So Will is the man behind the job, so I'm going to hand you over to him and he can start showing you how he makes all this magic come to work. And let me know how you go with that. Done. All right, we're going to jump straight into it. Alright, XP extractors are out and all mocked up on the table. So we've got a bit of this 5mm 100 by 50 up here, and we just kind of measure it out. On the other side you'll see a different style of flange. So then we can bolt them up how they are, put the slip-on collector and everything on, and then we can start welding it all up in spots, so then that way we don't have any issues later on with fitment or anything like that, because they go straight back in how they fit in the car. So, and we've got the other side up here ready to go as well. So now we get to welding, get to purging and start welding all the pipes up. We're going to be cleaning these pipes back too, so then we'll take you through the process of giving them a nice clean up. So we'll jump into this right now. Alright, we are back in the factory. It is bright and early and it is cold. It was 33 degrees yesterday and now it's freezing in the morning. But we're back onto the XP pipes. So got Nicole's XP behind us and we have the pipes. So we've got our pipes mocked up here. Looking the part. Flanges are all bolted up and everything like that. Now we have finished heavy tacking all of the pipes right down into the collectors, and we have our other heavy tack pipes already done just up here too. But I'm going to go through a couple of the essentials that we've got. We have our acetone, clean rags, don't really need to be white, but just clean rags that haven't been used. We have our aluminium tape, which is from Car Builders, so if you pop in there, Car Builders tape, which you'll see we tape up all of the joins along the way. Like when the fitment's pretty good, it's good, but you still tape them up, make sure any leaks, no argon's going to come out of it when we start purging. And then same again with all these pipes up here. So what we do is after the heavy tack, we chuck them on the table, we go through, we make sure all the joins are nice and tight. We don't want any massive gaps, any big gaps that are going to pull and twist and anything like that. And if there is any big gaps or anything like this one here, just the cutness, the thickness of a cutting disc, you can see was put through there just to manipulate it just a little bit. So we've got the thickness of a cutting disc in there. So we'll tape that up and we'll weld that in position where it is now, and we'll back purge all of the exhaust system here, and we'll weld this piece. And if there is any other, maybe a little bit there where it lines up, couple of those pieces before we go putting them into individual pipes here, and then we'll go and weld them all up. So it's pretty straightforward. After that, we're going to address mounting the radiator that we made for the car, and then we'll be able to mount the catch cans and everything on the side as well, which we need to do. So we're going to jump into it. There's not a whole bunch to really go through. It's just work your way through it, tape up the joins, back purge it, weld it all up and get into it. But we'll take you through video and getting these done. So hopefully we can knock these out, and then we're going to address cleaning them up. So we're going to get them back so they look all seamless and everything like that, but we'll jump into that after we weld it. Sweet, so we've got all of our strips here. So we've measured them up, we've wrapped it around the pipe, made sure that it overlaps just a little bit, and then we've cut the strip in half, which gives us nice little thin strips like this. And then we can grab these strips and we can wrap up these, anyone that has the gap in it that might give us a little bit of relief from our purging, we're going to wrap them all up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taping all these up, making sure that they're all nice and hard tacked like these ones up here, and then we can go ahead, wrap every single one that we're not using, tape the end of them, bang the purge line in, and then start welding them up and getting them all nice and pretty. So first things first, we're going to jump on these ones that need a little bit of love, and then make sure they're all welded up and they're all purged and welded from the inside, and then we're going to be able to show you how we jump onto the pipes. So let's get this taped up, acetone down, start welding it. thought I would just bring you guys over here for 2 seconds. So we've got this pipe halfway welded up. Obviously you can see our tape the rest of the way up there. So I thought I might show you the welds. So, not sure how good you can see them there, but maybe if let's cover that, might be a bit better. So, those welds there, you can see the colour. I got a bit too much heat in there, but at the same time, we put a little bit more heat into it. What is going on with the fluff on top? We put a bit more heat than usual in this because we actually put a little bit more filler in than we usually would just welding a set of pipes, because we have all intentions to linish these back to make them all smooth. We're using 1.2 stainless 316 filler for these pipes, and it's worked great for me in the past. The car's not a race car. It is just going to be cruising around town and having a good time with the family and whatnot like that. But we put a bit more filler in it because that way when we take off the top of the weld, it's still got all the integrity under the weld where we're back purging it, and it's still full of argon, and it's going to be helping the weld on the inside and stop it from oxidizing and whatnot. But the welds don't look as pretty as they would if we were just welding them the first time, because we're putting much more filler in. The reason for that being is when that filler builds up and it's a little bit hotter than usual, you don't get a perfect weld. So you'll see these welds here don't look like our normal style welds, but please take that into account, because making it all pretty and then sanding it back, you want it convex and built up, not nice and flat, because if you go to build it up, in between all the filler dimes that are there, you'll have little undercut pieces, so the linishing process can really dig in, and you don't want that. We want to keep the pipes, all the integrity in the pipes, so they don't crack over time with heat warp and shrinking and expanding all the time. So keep that. It's a little tip there for putting a bit more filler right in if you're going to linish things back. So going to keep jumping into the pipes. We've got a whole bunch more to go, so stay tuned. Perfect. We are on a movement at the moment. One pipe up there to go. One's all cleaned up. One is about to be cleaned up. Oscar's been going pretty hard at this. Will's just about to start sanding it all back, and then we'll get Oscar to finish it up just like that. So there'll be no welds on it. Nice and clean. Haven't done the header flange yet, but we will get to that. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of a before and after of welds, and then all clean. But we've got one more to go for welding, and that will be the driver's side. Driver's side pipes all welded, and then the boys will get stuck to cleaning it up. So we'll get that done, and then we'll be able to put the driver's side pipes on and then jump onto welding these bad boys up. Alright, we have got to a point today where pipes for the driver's side are pretty much done. Just need to weld around the flanges here, but they're all linished back. Passenger side's getting there. Need to take the welds back on the passenger side. Need to put a little bit of a collector extension on here and then weld the flange on the back there. But that is going to be it. How hot is it? What's the temperature? It's hot. It is, and we're just having mishaps with belts. There's snapping. It's very frustrating. They're hurting.
It is 37 degrees.
It is what?
37.
It's hot, so we're going home. It is going to be a wrap for today, but we'll jump in this again probably Monday. Monday we'll jump back into it, but that's going to be done for today. Beautiful. We are one side down, So, these are all welded up. So that is driver side all done. Driver side's all done, so we can start putting them in very shortly, along with collectors. Collectors are all done and looking pretty. So, engine builders asked for some extensions on the collectors, so we have done that. And Will's just cleaning up the last bit of the pipes. What are you doing, man?
Lots of sanding.
lots and lots of sanding.
Yeah.
So,
lots of it.
so that's just like, see if we can show them stages of, that's just starting to rough it in and use a sanding belt, which would be something like that. And then after that, we'll go to like a flat disc, a little bit of wax. Also can get on our online store, got to get a plug where you can get it. And then after that, we'll refine it in with a Scotch-Brite belt and run over it again. But it's definitely looking the goods. Is this hot?
Probably.
Beautiful. Definitely looking the part. So after these ones are done, because we just had to bang on some extensions on these bad boys, and we're sanding them back, the extensions, just so they go all the way in the collector and they're all even. We didn't realise until we bolted them up that they weren't, so done that. And then we've mocked up the first pipe, because then after that we can weld the flange and then get this side in as well. By the time these are all welded up, the other ones will be in the car, and then we can see what it looks like in the car. But it is bloody hot. How hot is it?
So 30.
I'm gonna go 40. I reckon it's hit 40. It's not that hot in the factory, just a bit. Money's on 39. Ooh, he's nailed it. It's a hot one today. 39.3. So we're going to be out of here very shortly, but it's not that hot in here.
Nah, it's hot, but it's not that hot.
Yeah. So we got sprinklers on the roof that you can probably hear. We got a big aircon down the back. It's not too bad in here, but by the time it gets to 45, we will be out of here. So keeping the hydration up and getting this XP done. So let's jump straight back into it. Alright, that is going to be the last pipe for the passenger side, so we're almost ready to go. But before I finish the bottom, I just wanted to show you a little couple of 1%ers. When customers are spending the money to get the pipes done right, all smoothed back and whatnot, it's a little 1%ers that come along with it. So on all of our pipes, we'll face the mounting face to make sure it's got a really good seal and everything like that. But just little things like these laser cut flanges that were supplied have like really bad marks in them, bit of gouging and where the dross has been taken off of them, and they don't look really very nice, but we clean them up so they're all spotless with the same kind of finish that's on the rest of the pipe. So that's it. We've just done a little bit of a die grind on the inside as well, just so it's got that nice smooth seamless finish, and that's going to be it. This is going to be the last pipe. We'll be able to go bang this in the car, so let's go bang it in. It's hot, leave me alone. But this looks cool. They've come up mad. Ugh. So, all in place. Still need to bolt the steering in that goes across here. And we're going to trim some of these primaries back a little bit just because they're not quite where they were. So those extensions we put on, probably needed to cut them back all to the shortest one, not add them on, but that's not here nor there. We'll take it out and do all that. But as far as things go, oh, they look cracker. But this man over here, he's all smiles now, but
It's amazing.
it's time to go. Call it. It's 40. Yeah, bring it down. It is. I don't want to be a liar. It has to be like 41, 42 degrees. It's hot. It's hot, and we are going to call it today. We wanted to wrap it up, but it is what it is. But let's have a look how sexy these look. They're nice. But till tomorrow. Alright, back in the factory, and we're gonna go a quick little look under the XP. So, of course, GJ's drive lines, as always, and pipes are in. Looking the goods, and collector's been modified to be at the right length, but it's beautiful under here. Manny and Daniel have done a gorgeous job. Their big old cat filter too. I definitely know that was taking it, but it is what it is. It's funny. I like it. Something you don't get to see is underneath the car, we've actually put all the same swages as a factory XP fuel tank. So it looks the part underneath really nice, and everything's painted really nice and pretty, and whatnot under here as well. But yeah, bit of a game plan on the exhaust. Going to be coming up into the next pipe, coming through here, up this cross member. We'll be getting some cutouts put through there, and maybe some tubes for the handbrake cables to go through just there. And then yeah, exhaust will be coming through up over the top of the diff, coming out through this section here where we've notched the side of the fuel tank to come through into our offset mufflers. But as per usual, we lay everything out on the desk here. So on the table we've got our bends, which we're marking out which ones we're going to be cutting our 45s on. We have our reducers, which we will obviously go from 3.5 inch off the collector into a 3-inch twin exhaust system. Into our X-pipe's over here. So Will's just getting through managing that, and we have our resis. So we're going to have 2 resis halfway down the car to start with, and then we're going to have our mufflers at the back. We've opted for some offset ground mufflers. We don't want the car too loud, but we also don't want to lose the performance or anything like that. So offset in this application works really well. Got our O2 bungs, V-bands, mounts, and here we have some beautifully spun up catch cans. So these ones will get mounted on the radiator, which you'll see we'll jump into very shortly. But for now, I'm going to leave you with Will, and he's going to jump into making the exhaust. Woo! Sweet. We have mocked up a catch can. So we've got our spun bottom and top cap, but it's empty at the moment. We'll show you what goes inside this in just a second. And then we got our filter. Our filter is going to be onto a -12 weld on, just so we can get them nice and tight and they don't vibrate off. Bang that in there. But we're just mocking a few things up. So we've got the radiator sitting in position where we want it. And we've got our 2 little marks for our nutserts where they're going to go. And then we're just figuring out exactly where this catch can's going to sit. So our catch can's going to sit roughly like that. I'm going to have one either side so they're symmetrical and everything like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to put our radiator in. We'll be able to butt that up to our nutserts that'll be in the front radiator support. And then we're going to weld some box section that we might cut in half and make into channel so it's in a U shape instead of a cube. We're going to weld that onto these little fins down the side of the radiator here. We'll check it out down here. Where this little line is here, we're going to weld that channel in position, and then we'll be able to put 2 nutserts in that, and we'll be able to put this catch can down the side, and then we'll be able to put an Allen key just up the side of it and bolt this in position. Now, the reason why we don't weld a tab off the side of the radiator or anything like that is because vibration. The car's going to see a lot of vibration. The catch can lines are going to be very short, tied to the engine and all that stuff. And over time, just doing this, it'll eventually break. So if we've got a bracket that comes off the side of the catch can that has a return on it, it's going to be nice and strong. And then we'll be able, when we bolt that up, this bracket that's on the catch can and the box section that's welded to this will keep keep it nice and rigid, and then that way we don't have to worry about any welds breaking or anything like that. So we're going to have 2 of these, one either side, to keep the symmetrical theme going. And we're going to pull it out now and start doing some nutserts, mount the radiator in, and then we'll be able to finish up these catch cans. All right, we have our little bit of box section just here. So just like that, and we've got our lines down the middle, both sides. We will be able to bang this in the vise, just like that. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut down the middle of it and then use the channel piece for our little mounts for our catch cans. So we'll chop through them quickly. Beautiful. Bang the glasses on and cut this down the middle. Alright, so this is the pieces that we're going to be using. So we will end up chucking a little nutsert in this. They're just deep enough to bang a nutsert in. And they are going to sit just there. Once they get a little weld on them there, we'll be able to grab, these are 8s, but we'll use a 6. Bang a nutsert there and there, and we'll be able to have little plates that come off our catch cans. That was slid in there, so we'll get that all done, and then we're ready for the catch can. We'll bring you back. Ooh, all right, radiator is sorted. I think you should just take a second to take this in. This is probably one of the nicest radiators we've ever done. That is an extremely pretty radiator. but it's ready to go in. So what we're going to do is get this bad boy in, touch up a couple of last minute pieces, and then we just need to, if these are hot enough, cold enough for me to touch, just need to do that top weld on the catch cans. All the rest are done, but we need to do the lid. But because they're so thin, because they're spun, they're really, really thin, and when they just get too much temperature in the material, too hard to weld. So we go to it down to a 1.6 tungsten, and then we go ahead and slowly weld it the whole way around, touch up any pieces that need to be touched up first, then weld the whole process of the rest of it around. But let's see where Will is under the car. How are you travelling?
I'm exhausted.
You're exhausted? Perfect. She's looking flash.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, it looks good. X-pipe's looking sexy. Nice. So these collectors, they look like they're hanging low, but they haven't got very much clearance here at all. And we're going from 3.5 down to 3 inch. So just future-proofing it for a bit later on as well, if need be, have a 3.5 inch exhaust out the back. But other than that, once this midsection's done, we're going to be cutting into the rear stay here, and we'll be putting some semicircles in there. But just so it's here, it is here. So here's a big, nice, thick wall tube. So that goes in there underneath. So all the structural integrity of the cross member is all the same, if not better. So we'll be cutting some semicircles into here, welding them in, and then running the rest of the exhaust through here, up and over the diff, and then out the back here, like so, to the offset mufflers. So on the back side of the X-pipe, we will be putting some resis in, just to quieten it up just a little bit, so it doesn't have that, like we said a bit earlier, it's not too grumpy. Beautiful. We'll get this radiator in, get Will to get all this exhaust done, and we'll be able to jump onto the next bit. Alright, last piece of the puzzle. So we're just going to bang the filter on. Nice. Do the drainer. Like that. And then you can probably see the other one in. So let's go check out the other one. The other one's in place, looking the goods. Now we just need to bang this one just in there. Beautiful. Alright, that's going to be the catch cans until we make a decision on the rock covers. They're not the rock covers staying on the car. Once we know which rock covers are going to be on the car, we can then dictate where our fitting for the inlet is going to be. But till then, we're just going to leave it like this. They're going to be done, and then we'll be able to bang some fittings in shortly. Oof, exhaust is looking good. Oh, exhaust is looking really good. I'm not sure if you can see the welds or not. Anyway, so steps up here. Steps up there like that. Will's just doing a nice little wedge that goes in that. We're just making sure the handbrake still works the way it needs to. X-pipe, nice and pretty. Come down the back here. As it comes down the back here, it's just going to step up, follow the floor. Outside of the handbrake cable holders, just here. So we'll put a little tube through for them. And then we're going to do our cutouts for the exhaust to go through this section, and then we'll go up, and we're probably going to put our resonators. We're going to put our resonators up here like that. We've got heaps of real estate to do that. And that way, if we keep the mufflers at the back, we never have to change the tailpipes, because the tailpipes are going to be a little bit intricate. How they go up over the diff and then through this way. And once they're right, we kind of want to just leave them as it is. So if we need to bang another muffler or anything in it, we can do this section here where we've got some real estate. But after all the cars we've done in the past, one set of resonators and one set of mufflers, 4 in total, it'll give it a nice sound. And it's not a crazy big crazy engine, so it should sound the part. But we'll leave you with Will, see what he gets up to. Alright, we've marked out our little semicircles here, just there, and then up here you'll see a little cross. On this side you'll see we have our little tube, which is going to go to our handbrake cable, is going to run through here, and then it will obviously run up to the brake where it is here. So we'll be able to bring that across through the hole, and happy days. And then our semicircle here we'll be cutting out for the ground clearance. The ground clearance for the pipes to sit up there. It's way too bright that way. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. Then we've got our semicircles all cut out just here. So nice big thick 6mm steel, which is equivalent, obviously, semicircle, double the thickness, 3mm, 50 by 100, 50 by 75. And we've got this that goes no further than the halfway point to the bottom side of the semicircle. So that is going to work great. So we're going to go ahead and cut these out, clean them back up, and then get these all welded in. And then we'll be able to finish off the rest of the pipes. Pipes are all welded at the start. Coming to here. All right, thought we'd quickly just stop to show you where we are. So I've got one crush tube in intact and the other one is too, but I wanted to show you, this side. Actually, the light's better on this side. So we've got our little 6mm piece in here, and I've got a crush tube too. I'll show you why that's hanging out at this point, but that's how it needs to be. And we have to tap that in, and it's frustrating, isn't it?
Not at all.
So it needs to be a tight fit. So it can't be just flopping around there or anything like that. So just for instance, this piece in here, that piece there, it just fits in. Like, it locks in. When I tap that with a hammer.
Should I tack that?
No, that's how tight it is. Nothing needs to touch it to stay in place. It needs to lock in. So, and then you'll see here, the half the thickness of the 3mm is exposed. So then that weld becomes a fillet, and that fillet weld's much stronger than a cap weld. Obviously, a butt weld going corner to corner. So we leave that corner to corner weld so we can get a nice little fillet the whole way in it, and then that way it's welded the whole way around. The crush tubes that go through for the brake, not only are they adding some structural integrity to the tube, but also when we weld around them, the reason why that little bit's hanging out the back is we weld one side, and then we come over, we sand that flat, and then we weld it the whole way around, and then that actually acts not as only the through for the brake line, but it is a crush tube as well. So that plate that we're welding in this way is also nice and strong, about 50mm across from where we're putting it in. So we're going to weld these in, and then we'll show you how it looks when we're all done. Oof, it's looking pretty under here. Tail pipes are on, all mounted at the top there. Looking pretty. Up there, down into your resonators. Oh, midsection. Oh, how good does that look? Banger. I like it. Looks good. You like it?
Yes.
We're almost at the end of it. It's good. So right now we just need to put a little bit of a scallop in here. A little bit of a scallop in here so we can get the exhaust tip down there. I think we've got one here. So just something like that. And then we'll show you when we get the bumper on how we're going to finish it, so you can just see the tips, just so it doesn't spurt everything up on the back bar and make it look ugly every time you drive it. Yeah, perfect tyre clearances. Yeah, this exhaust has come up awesome. Definitely looks the goods. Magic. Beautiful. We're almost done. Once the tips are done, we're going to make a 4-bar adjustment. We'll get that where it needs to be. We're also going to bang some O2s in it, in the collectors, here and here, either side, and we'll weld these little V-bands up at the front. We like to leave the V-bands to last, just in case anything moves or warps or anything like that along the way. But everything looks swell and tucked in our little notches here. Handbrake cables are run through. We just need to figure out what we're going to do with that. We've got a couple of ideas. Going to speak to the owner and see what they want to do there, and then we can figure it out. But we'll do tips, bang the O2s in, bring it down, goo up the pipes, do all that jazz, and then yeah, it should be apples to finish it up. So done. We'll finish those bits up and we'll touch base in just a minute.
Nice. We have just taken the headers out to weld O2 bungs in the collectors. So later on, if you need O2 sensors, they can go in there. This is the mid pipe out of the car. So that can all go back in.
That's the rocker covers all done. So we've just finished this one and we've welded it from the inside here. So they are all welded up in there. I'm not sure if you can get a good little view in there, but there's a couple of different reasons why we weld these from the inside. One, they look neat. Sometimes they look nice with the weld and everything on them when it's a nice pretty weld. But the reason why we weld these ones from the inside is these, as you can probably tell by this one that's nice and clean, is they're plated. So these are electroplated. So they've got a chrome plating on them, and inside you can see the nickel, that colour there, or the copper or bronze or whatever they did in the States when they've plated them. But these are plated, so if we were to weld the outside, we would have flaked all the plate off of it and made a mess out of it. So that would have been no good. And then we'd either have to paint them, strip them, do all that stuff. But if you do the process nice and slow from the inside, take the plating back, whether it's the nickel, the bronze or whatever, take it back and then clean the surface, and then you can just weld from the fitting to the material and just blend that little bit in, and it comes up really good. But see, you can see how nice and clean this cover is. And I get this a lot from the people that choose the chrome covers, how to clean them. But super easy. So this one, you can see, if I flip it that way, you'll be able to see all of the fingerprints all of the fingerprints, all the marks, and they don't take much. Anyone that's ever had these rock covers know it takes bugger all for them to get as bad as they are now. But a little bit of acetone on a rag, and I mean a little bit, you don't have to put a lot, and then we just run over it. And what this does is, unlike wax and grease, it doesn't leave a film. So the plating isn't going to get affected from the acetone as long as it's not too much and it's not soaking for long periods of time. You can quickly run over like that, and then you grab the dry side of the rag, you flip it over and just wipe it with the dry side of the rag, and you'll be able to see how that comes up with just a quick little wipe. Much better. And I'm not going to go too hard on it because we need to handle them to put them back in the car, but a little bit of acetone on a rag goes a long way with some of these plated products. Don't do it on the raw aluminiums and stuff like that, just the plate. The plate's a nice hard and set finish. It's not porous at all. Won't let any of the chemicals and stuff in it, so you can go to town with the acetone as long as it's going to soak it, because it won't need much to get under a bit of the plating to then make it hard. But if you look at that, all the fingerprints gone, looking schmick. So I'm gonna get these on the car, seal them up, and then we'll run over it. We'll show you everything's done. That's going to be it. We're all done on the XP. It is looking the goods. It's come up mint. These pipes are sick. Will's done a killer job of them. Oscar, nailed the sanding, my G. It's coming really good. Hanging to see this one hit the road. It's going to be cool. But we'll give you a cool little B-roll shots of the exhaust, fuel tank. Even though we didn't do that in this episode, we did this quite some time ago. We'll get you a couple of B-roll shots, but I'm actually hanging to get this on the ground. I really want to see this on the ground, so we're going to get it off the hoist, push it forward, and see what she looks like on the deck. So we're going to do that now. That's going to be a wrap on this episode, guys. Hope you've enjoyed us working on Nicole's XP. But that's going to be it. Let us know below in the comments what you've enjoyed, what was your favourite part of the episode. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button because it helps us make more videos. And head over to the website, deangfab.com.au. Get yourself some merch if you like to support us. That helps us and makes these videos go a long way. But stay tuned for the next episode and see what I've got in store here on Branko's ESP.